Welcome to Brilliantly British. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to cap off the Easter season with this, an Easter Simnel Cake. Simnel cakes have been made since the medieval 11th century, originally being boiled in cloth. Today's recipe will be baked and crowned with 11 of Christ's faithful apostles and will be based on a variation from Bury in Greater Manchester. This cake has more spices in it than some curries. It is so complex in flavour and so rich. Make it yourselves, it is worth the effort. For this very rich Easter Simnel cake, you will need some whiskey or some brandy, apricot jam, some marzipan, sugar, butter, some candied peel, episode 9, check it out, some eggs, some lemons, some oranges, mixed dried fruit, some self-raising flour. If you can't get hold of that, just take some plain flour and some baking powder and follow the descriptions below, and some mixed spice. Well, hang on, you don't need to Google anything. I'm going to show you how to make mixed spice yourself because I'm having to do the same. You will need some cloves, ginger, coriander, nutmeg, allspice, some mace, cinnamon. The proportions will be listed in the description below. Finally, you will be baking, you will be cooking, you will need to stay hydrated as always, so get yourself a nice cup of hot tea. To get ourselves started with this cake a day before, you will need to soak your dried fruit and add in some whiskey, the juice of a whole orange, the juice of a whole lemon and the zest of a whole lemon. Mix that together, making sure all of the fruit is covered by some of the liquid. Cover it and then store that to one side until you're ready to use it. But in YouTube minutes, we can do that now. Now we're going to roll out our marzipan and prepare it for when we construct our cake. I've lined this cake tin with parchment paper, buttering the sides first so that the parchment paper can stick. Divide all of your marzipan into 3 pieces. Then dust your work surface with icing or granulated sugar before rolling out 2 5mm thick sheets of marzipan. From these sheets, cut out circles with the same dimensions as your cake tin. Save and reuse the excess. Finally, form 11 20-gram balls of marzipan. These will be your 11 apostles. Feel free to make the balls smaller or larger. To form the wet half of your batter, first cream together softened room temperature butter with all of the Muscovado sugar. Quick note, portion out your sugar only when you're ready to cream with butter, as it tends to dry and harden quickly when out in the open. When the butter and sugar have the on-screen consistency, begin to whisk in your eggs one at a time, fully incorporating each egg before adding another. If at this point lumps of sugar are still present, simply take them out and, well, eat them. With a sieve or a colander, separate your soaked fruits from any excess liquid. Put this liquid deliciousness to one side. This will be added to the batter in a moment. Now coat your fruits in 1 to 2 tablespoons of flour. Remember the excess juice? Add your liquid deliciousness to the batter before placing to one side. If you see it start to split, add a tablespoon of your flour to emulsify. To prepare our dry elements, add your spices to the remaining flour and mix well before placing to one side. Dice your candied peel and place, you know where to place it. To combine dry and wet halves, sift in your flour spice mixture, folding the flour in gradually. Now folding these in carefully will ensure all the air we've whipped in will be converted to fluffiness later on, so gently handle the batter. Believe it or not, but that's it. For the batter, I mean. If, like me, you've been tasting this along the way, you will have realized that this is something special. To construct this cake, turn out half of your batter and spread it out in your cake tin. Then take 1 of 2 marzipan discs and lay it out on top. Finally, turn and spread out the second half of your batter. That's it. Cake assembled. Bake this for 2 hours or until a knife or toothpick comes out cleanly when used to check the cake. After baking, allow the cake to cool for 40 minutes. To finish off this cake, take advantage of the cake's warmth by spreading apricot jam over the top. The jam should melt on contact, allowing some to be absorbed by the cake and form an adhesive layer. Take your second disc of marzipan and delicately place it atop the cake. Finish by crowning your cake with the 11 apostles. This part is optional, but if you know what's good, switch on your grill and once hot, brown the top of your cake, haloing each of your apostles. You're done. It was easy. Now for the best bit. Tasting. Today's cake will be paired with Earl Grey. As nice as this cake is, it is going to be a shame that I have to cut it. Oh, I'm really, really looking forward to this. Let's dig in. It's amazing. I can't help but smile. I love Christmas puddings. If ever you've had anything like that, this tastes similar, but honestly, this tastes better. Please make this cake. Amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch this episode. Hopefully now you understand and know the meanings behind the Easter Simnel Cake, and hopefully as well you feel inspired to give it a try. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, share the good news about brilliantly British food, and I will see you next time. You will need some mint, ingwer, coriander, you know. I've lined this cake. It's almost like each of these saints with the grill marks on top of them have each a halo on top, you know. Amazing.